the Fallen, he has met his demise. With the 13 primes banishing him, he goes and looks at Solus Prime one last time as he hides into another galaxy. Solus Prime then becomes one with the forge of the hammer. And eventually, all of the 13 primes, they go their separate ways. But we have Vector Prime and Logos Prime still alive. And then we have Alpha Trion coming back and retrieves the Forge of Solus Prime. We also have Quintus Prime, who believes to travel to find peace to another world. And then, with that world, he goes and creates the Quintessons. Alchemist Prime wanders around as well, being a chemist, and until recently, some people also believe he is just a common bartender. And also we have Micronus, who goes and becomes the origin of the mini-bots and microbots from the future. So we all have these transformation from the 13 primes. So we also go to a new era. The era of transformation. Transformation, and also no one really knows about Prima and his whereabouts, but I believe that his matrix, and he goes into battles against all these other descendants from the Decepticon, from Megatronus, and perhaps dies in battle, so he passes on the matrix. And then we have Nexus Prime with the Enigma of Combination, who also gets separated and separates the Star Saber into 5, so that way it doesn't go into the wrong hands. But eventually, over time, these guys separate and wander off into different galaxies, and Alpha Trion hides with most of Solus Prime's artifacts and weapons. And then we have Armageddon's Prime, the Shifter, who also has one of Solus Prime artifact, the Quill, and he can use it. If he uses it on the Covenant of Prime, he can use it to change the future. And no one knows what his plans are. Armageddon's Prime. It's down there. Oops. So then, with the time passing, all these transformation, everyone goes their separate ways and starts creating and building army and whatnot. And Unicron still lurks in different galaxies, consuming worlds and moons along its way. So he goes and wanders off for search of energy, whereas his brother Primus finds peace, finally, then transforms into Cybertron with his 2 moons orbiting him. So he goes and lingers for centuries afterwards. And with Cybertron, was the birth of the Autobots. So we have way past in the future now with the war from Optimus. And then we have Vector Prime always hovering in time and space. Whereas Logos Prime does the same but in a different dimension. Perhaps a dark side, a shattered dimension, maybe creating the Shattered Glass universe. And then we have before the Optimus Prime era, before he came to be, there was other Matrix bearers. And one of them is Nova Prime. With the blade, with the Terminus blade. So Nova Prime, also with his companion Jaxus, was able to find the Enigma of Combination. It was from the 3 disc of information found in Cybertron from the original 13 primes. And it was told that with this 3 disc lies information beyond their imagination. And from the 13 primes that passed away, they believe this was the key to the plasma energy chamber, where the chamber holds the remains of the 13 primes. And with that in hand, Jaxus goes more into play with experimenting of combinations. And with his first creation, he creates Monstructor, which is having a hard time standing. Okay, there we go. So yeah, Monstructor. This very first combiner, which you can tell, has a lot of flaws. And this is my prototype Monstructor, which I really have to work on a lot to make it stable. Anyways, so Monstructor goes and becomes one of the unstable combiners. Hang on. He goes in on the rampage. Oh, I'll just put him aside. So Monstructor, I'll show you guys next time when I have him all stabled up. So Monstructor goes, and then Jaxus goes through his evil ways. And then Nova Prime sways away from the concept of the Matrix and becomes evil because of Monstructor. So in turn, you see Jaxus recognizing Nova Prime, turning more and more evil until he is consumed by evil. And then as his death, he rises again to become Nemesis Nova, which I still have to work more on. So this is Nemesis Nova, and they go on a rampage. Afterwards, from different galaxies and dimensions, we have the Decepticons. Whoops. Decepticons who searches for Energon. And these guys are descendants from Liege Maximo. Whereas Nova Prime is also the main creator of that. And also Liege Maximo, who is supposedly thought to be dead, was brought back. And brought back from the shattered dimension, from space and time, by Logos Prime. So now we are conflicted with time and space, and with the key and the disc, the 13 primes are once again called upon, but not perhaps all 13, but just a few. So we'll see what Vector Prime goes to, what dimension, what series, Armada, RID, no one knows.